welcome to For the Love of Nature, a podcast where we tell you everything you need to know about nature and probably more than you wanted to know. I'm Fawks, Lapole.
And I'm Katy Holloway, and I am so freaking excited about this episode because it is the second one in our season. What do we want to call it? Like continuation? Like a series that's going to transcend all seasons. So if you guys remember last season, we did Could You Ride That? And we didn't want to continue to do Could You Ride That? So this episode is Could You Be That?
Or would you? Yeah.
Or would you be that? Where Laura and I are going to fight off the different animals that we could or would or want to be. And so we're just going to duke it out. And
this was so hard. It was so hard to choose. My week, I'm sure by next week the list will have changed for me. But for sure, I'm excited. And I already knew about most of these animals, but I did learn some stuff, which was cool too.
I mean, I also have alcohol in my system, so I'm just so excited to get this one going. I'm very ready. So do you want to do nature news first? And then, so let's explain how we're going to do this then. Well, no, you know what? Let's do nature news, and then we'll go ahead and explain it.
Okay. All right. Well, my nature news is really simple, but there's several articles. I saw on Facebook an article, took me down, kept finding more articles about this. This one's from Texas. And
really?
This one is why squirrels are splooting in the heat and what we can do to help them.
What?
Yes, splooting. Splooting. Splooting.
Can I have a definition and a state of origin?
I've never heard of splooting.
Neither have I.
I'm so glad I know what it is now. It is specifically the squirrel behavior when they lie flat on the ground like they've melted.
Yes! That is such a good word!
Yeah.
Splooting.
Because I constantly do see squirrels do it.
Splooting.
So, yeah. Splooting everywhere. So, as we all know, it has been hot as Hades in most of this part of the country. So the poor little squirrels are melting, and you'll see them doing this behavior called splooting, which is basically them trying to increase their surface area to cool down.
Okay.
You know, you see dogs even do it too, but you'll see squirrels sprawled out on branches, sprawled out on the concrete. They're trying to like get as much of their body cooled off as they can.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like, some people are noticing that, like, once the squirrel has splooted, like, you get it up, they're so hot. So, what can you do to help? You can put out water dishes for these poor splooted squirrels. I just want to say it as many times as I can.
I know. It is so good every time.
So, yep, that's the news. The news is squirrels are splooting all over the place, and we need to help them by giving them water.
It's so funny because you could make that mean so many different things. Right? And it can be good every single time. Joshua, we need a shirt with a splooting squirrel.
That would be a great sticker.
That would actually be a really cute sticker. I'm sure Josh could draw.
I'm gonna have it right on the back of my car, a little splooted squirrel.
I'm sure Josh could draw a really cute squirrel.
Yeah.
All right. So I like how your news always comes from Facebook. My news typically
always comes from Carl.
Yeah, you know, and this one did. I know he's got time to find news stories. So this one comes from livescience.com. It's peculiar parasitic fungi discovered growing out of the rectum of a 50 million year old fossilized ant.
First of all, really long article.
Yeah, right?
Secondly, intriguing.
A rectum, so it's fungi growing out of a butthole. They've identified a new species of extinct parasitic fungus bursting from the backside of a 50 million year old ant, all perfectly preserved in amber, no less. So, and you talked about amber in the fossil episode. So if you guys haven't heard that one, go back and make sure you listen.
We're going to keep shouting out the fossil
We are,
episode,
because we talk about dinosaurs every single time in our nature news. So, in addition to mushrooms protruding from the ant's rectum, which is also very interesting, evidence of the freaky fungus can be seen throughout the body of its unlucky host. The ant likely died as a result of the fungal infection and was fixed in a tree resin, of course, which is what makes amber, shortly afterwards that had happened. It is the oldest example of fungal parasitic ever discovered in ants.
Oh, cool.
Which is really cool. So, and the article goes on and on. But anyway, so it's live science, and you can go ahead and look up the 50 million year old fossilized butthole of an ant with fungi coming out of it.
Yeah. Lovely.
Fossils always making its way into our nature news.
For sure. Facebook now, it definitely is still thinking I want to hear about fossils, but now it also thinks I want to hear about early humans.
Oh, that's a cool mix. Yeah, that's a cool mix.
Yeah, no, I've been excited. All right, so what we're going to do is that we decided how we're going to do this is that we were going to have
biomes.
Like, right. Yeah. We're going to have some categories here. So we chose biomes, which are, they're bigger than a habitat, but it's overall like a type of place to live, and we choose an animal from there. Well, I have 7 biomes and 9 animals because 2 of them I just literally could not
choose. I have 8 biomes with 8 animals.
So I'm going to read a biome, have my animal, and then Katy will either choose the same biome if she wants to, or one that's similar, because we both decided that we're only going to cover the biomes that we actually want to exist in, because some of them do not seem at all like you'd want to live there.
And I changed my mind on some of them from whenever we talked.
I did too.
Okay, this should be good then.
There was only a couple that I was like, you know what? No. I think there's 12 biomes.
I think so.
If I remember correctly.
I think so.
I'm pretty specific about where I want to live. So, okay. First biome, the taiga.
Okay. Is that how you say it?
I don't know. It's not taiga, which is what I always thought, because it's not TIA. It's TAI.
Okay.
I don't know. I should be looking up how to pronounce things too before.
Right? Man, I'm rubbing off on you.
I don't have time for that. So anyway, my animal, the wolverine.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I recently learned some about wolverines, and that got me thinking about them, and then I'm like, yeah, they would be cool to be. Here's why. They are native to the boreal zone of the northern hemisphere. So boreal meaning like, upper Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Well, or just Canada in general. They're also known as skunk bears, which gives you some clue as to what they look like and smell like. They are the most badass of the entire weasel family. And that's really saying something, because weasels are known for being incredibly fierce. And wolverines can bring down prey 5 times larger than themselves.
Which, that to me is still mind-blowing.
That's like all the weasels can kill stuff bigger than them, which is crazy. Is nuts. But knowing that the wolverine is so freaking big
is terrifying.
It can take down like a reindeer, okay? So it looks a lot like a badger, but it's not. It's the wolverine. They are actually, what am I saying? They are the largest of the weasel family.
Yeah.
So this is all the bigger they get. They scavenge for food, including scaring off bigger animals like wolves, mountain lions, and bears. Don't even mess with wolverines.
Jeez.
They'll chase them off the kill, then they'll stash it for later, and they'll even spray it with their stinky scent to deter other animals from coming to get it.
Okay.
They can climb trees and swim. They can run 30 miles an hour. They make cozy nests. They're adapted to live in snow, which I love the snow. They have very few natural predators. Really, it's just either when they're young or the occasional wolf pack might take one down.
Okay.
They're smart. They have been known to break into cabins and eat all food in there.
That's what I was going to
say. Everything.
I feel like people don't give them enough credit for that. They are pretty darn intelligent.
Yeah. And I was reading that they have been known to spring. They're very hard to catch because they have been known to spring traps. Like, drop a stick in a trap.
What the heck?
And then, bury it somewhere else. Huh. You're just like, screw you and your attempts to trap me.
Just flip them the bird and on their way they go.
So that's all the reason. I think being Wolverine, nothing's going to mess with you. You live a pretty easy life just scavenging. The only downsides that I could think of was that They live in a very unforgiving climate. So the taiga is it's harsh snow. Yeah. They live alone, which would be kind of lonely. And they're known to be a bit bloodthirsty because they kill more prey than they can eat. One wolverine was known to kill like an entire herd of deer that was kept in a pen.
That's so uncalled for.
Yeah, just because it could.
That's uncalled for.
But otherwise, I would love to be a wolverine.
Uncalled for Wolverine. Would you kill a pack of reindeer just because?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm like, But if I'm going to be any animal that lives up there, it would probably be that.
I guess everybody has some of their faults, you know?
Every that's the Wolverines. That I've done, unfortunately, has at least one downside. But so do humans.
I don't know. I have found some pretty amazing animals for this one.
I'm going to find some downsides for you.
I'm pretty sure I found my spirit animal, because you always say about your spirit animal. I may have just found mine.
That's amazing,
and it's one that I've known about for a long time. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
The taiga or the Arctic or
the tundra. Some of mine I went like super generic. All right. So my tundra animal is the beluga whale.
Oh, no.
So
shout out the beluga bandwagon. I'm not jumping on up.
So shout out to Rafi, who wrote Baby Beluga, which is the first actual song that I ever remember singing as a kid, beyond Twinkle Twinkle. and is still a song I frequently get stuck in my head.
I do know it for sure.
Yeah. Why? I don't know. Still happens. All right. Well, we all know, from our Who Are You Talking To episode, that belugas do try to communicate with humans. They're nicknamed sea canaries because of how much they talk. Again, it's just talking. I mean, you guys know I like to talk. So, sea canaries. They're easily recognizable by their bright white bodies. They can be up to 3,000 pounds and 14 feet in length.
Wow.
Fun fact. Yeah, they are pretty big. Fun fact, though, they can swim backwards.
And
I don't think I knew that. Well, some can, but a lot of larger animals cannot swim backwards like that.
The fins aren't really, the front ones aren't made.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, that's kind of a weird maneuver for them is to go backwards. All right, so why would I choose a beluga whale? Well, seriously, swimming all day, just foraging. And as much as I love, like, being around people because I'm an extroverted introvert, I would say, again, extrovert and introvert, I love being around people, but I need my recharge time by myself.
Yeah.
And so this would be a good one because they do live in smaller social groups, but then we'll just go miles and miles and miles for food. So for me, even though that long journey, that's kind of why I like to mow the lawn, oddly enough, because I can just kick into, autopilot and just zone out and get it done. And that's kind of like... a
bit of you time.
Yeah, kind of like a beluga whale, except for, they're watching for food and, trying to survive. So it's not as easy as I make it seem. But really to just zone and probably sing Baby Beluga. And that's my life. Probably. And just kind of swimming. So it is, kind of gives you the solitary. And this is one of the, again, they live in small social groups, but it's still, it's the tundra where they live in the water, of course, is very massive and very, alone. But it's the same time that aloneness can be, soothing every once in a while. If that makes sense. Yeah, therapeutic.
Definitely therapeutic. That's mine. I would never want to be that because that sounds incredibly lonely.
But they still have people. They still have social group around them. So that's one of my shortest ones that I had. But I have some other good ones coming up. But that's my beluga whale because I didn't want to give too much natural history because we did go through that not long ago.
I think I'm just not a fan of swimming all day, but.
Oh, I totally could. And two, though, they're kind of swimming, but it's also so, because it's not like they're killer whales, orcas, they don't swim. Right. They do go fast. Yeah, they're just kind of cruising. So it is sort of that, like I said, that zone that you get in.
Yeah.
So beluga whale for my tundra one.
Yeah, I guess they don't have many downsides as far as survivability.
Yeah, just kind of...
The water's freezing. But
you're made for that. But you're made for that. You know what I mean? They don't really notice.
Things aren't eating you at this point.
Yeah. So big. Just kind of doing your jam. singing Baby Beluga, hanging with Rafi.
All right. Well, let's go the complete opposite direction. And I'm gonna do the desert. So at first I was like, "There's no freaking way I'm looking at the desert." But then I thought, you know what? There's a lot of different kinds of deserts out there, and not all of them seem terrible. Mm-hmm. So I chose the colored peccary.
Ooh,
which
okay.
Actually I also think could be like, this is an animal that most of these I think I actually would be these animals. Like, if you had to choose things for me.
Okay.
Probably this would be an animal that's like, yeah, that's probably Laura.
Yeah, so for mine too, I did have to divide it up into two groups. So I have ones of like, am I that? And would I like to be that? And the beluga one was more so of like I would like to be that.
That's what I feel about the wolverine.
But I hit on the nail on the head with some of these of whether I am that or not. We'll get there. So go ahead to your desert one.
So the collared peccary is native to North, Central, and South America. And they live in different habitats in different places. But in the United States, they live in saguaro deserts. Mm-hmm. So deserts that have saguaro cacti. They're also known as javelinas, named for their javelin-like tusks. So why do I want to be them? Or why do I think I am them? They have no specific mating season, so no pressure. You know, they can just rely mostly on when it rains. They're like, you know what? There's plenty of food around. Let's make a baby.
Yeah.
They're not like, okay, it's November. We have to have a baby right now.
Relax. A little bit more relaxed.
Yeah. They live a decently long time, 24 years. That's pretty good for a wild animal.
Yeah, not bad.
And they're very social. Mm-hmm. They do everything together. I mean, they eat together, they sleep together, they're always together. But it's not like an insanely huge herd. It's usually only 5 to 15. So for me, that's like the perfect size. Like, I would totally hang out with the same 15 people all the time.
I think realistically, I'm more that way too. Like, I am an extrovert. Like, going out and doing something just doesn't faze me. Yeah. Like, I'm fine with it. But yeah, that realistically, if it was all the freaking time, it would probably be more like 5 to 15 people.
Right. They're very talkative animals, as all pigs are. They're very talkative, as I am. Like all pigs, they're intelligent, which I like to think that I am. What's also cool is that they're able to even eat cacti. But their main foods are agave and prickly pear, both of which sound delicious. Mm-hmm. Like sugary, wet, like
why not?
Full of water.
Did you say wet?
I was going to, and then I was like,
sugary, wet.
So yeah, the only downsides to being a collared peccary are that there's like two really morbid ones, and one's just like, okay. One they're hunted a lot by people. They're hunted for sport. I mean, they're a pig, and unfortunately people just love going hunting for pigs. The other two that are like, ugh. So moms have to be alone with young babies for a day so that their herd doesn't eat them.
Wait, what's the downside? Is it being alone with the baby for a day, or is it the?
No, it's the you have to, or your friends are gonna eat it.
Okay, because I was like, you haven't even given birth yet to be like at that point of like, I can't handle it anymore.
And even then, only sisters are allowed close while they're babies because they can only trust their sisters not to eat them. Then the other downside is that you're together all the time. Except for when you're older and firm, then you go and die alone.
Oh, jeez.
Right, which I don't want to die alone, so.
That's so depressing, too, because it's like, you know what, I just give up. I'm just going to go over here and die. And then just
I know, it seems so
wander
sad.
Away.
So, yeah, collared peccary. If I was going to live in the desert, it would be like a United States desert. Nothing like the Sahara, like a survivable desert.
A survivable desert.
With a lovely herd of pigs.
With your sugary, wet cacti.
My sugary diet and my javelin sharp tusks.
Very nice. Well, I also have a desert one, and this one is, again, a biome that I didn't think I was going to do either. But I did find 1.5. So I have one that I wanted to focus on, and then a shout out to another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, and I picked for this one the thorny devil.
Okay, is that the lizard?
Found only in Australia. The thorny devil is a diurnal, which means active during the day. Reptile reaching about 7 or so inches in length. It's covered in thorny spines.
Couldn't guess that.
Right? And they pretend, they have like a pretend head on the back of its neck, which is thought to ward off predators. Again, evolution has a weird way of working some things out. When walking, they raise their tails and jive back and forth as they go. And seriously, when I see them walking every single time, I immediately start singing the song "Walk Like a Man" by the Four Seasons in my head. I don't know why, and I wasn't drinking when I wrote the scripts, but that's what song. You know what I'm talking about? Like the old song.
I probably, if you started singing it.
Oh, I'm not gonna sing it. There's no way.
What's a line from it?
Walk like a man. Hold on.
Walk like a man, talk like
yeah.
And that, gotcha. Okay, yes. That
okay. I won't play it then. Alright. It's just because of how they jive. And they think like a lot of that kind of looks like their grass. You know what I mean? Like it's the swaying. Because it's like very it's very like methodical of, hey, this is no one's gonna see me,
or they just want to look really cool when they walk.
Right, because they also are singing "Walk Like a Man" by Four Seasons in their head as they're going,
or any song. Maybe they're just constantly humming to themselves. That's so cute to picture.
To just go through. So they mostly eat ants and other small insects that they find. Fun fact, that during the night, dew condenses on their bodies, and in the morning, they brush up against dew-covered grass. That's how they drink. And they have, like, grooves within their skin, between their scales, which channel all the water to their mouths.
That's convenient.
Right? And the same process occurs whenever it rains. So it's really smart. So although they have several predators, their thorny body obviously often protects them most of the time. So why would I be this animal? I mean, overall, they just go about life. Again, kind of like the beluga whale, because they do live in the Australian outback. There's really not a whole lot going on around where they are. So they just kind of jive to the beat and kind of just eat their insects and go about their life. And so for the desert one, though, again, whenever we were talking about it, I said, oh, there's no way. Like, there's no way I'm going to pick one.
Same.
But for me, it was actually a tie between this one and the horned lizard, which is here in...
Which is here
in Texas, that shoots bloods out its eyes. But I can't even handle having my own blood drawn without being lightheaded.
You're right, yeah. That would
So I don't know how to escape a predator if one comes near me and I just start, like, shooting blood everywhere. Because I'd probably just like
you immediately
pass out and be eaten then. So this one was a thorny devil with a little shout out to the horned lizard here in Texas that shoots blood from its eyeballs.
That's cool. I didn't choose any reptiles. I couldn't think of any that I'd really want to be, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, that one was kind of surprising. I
have all mammals and one bird.
I was very, very mammal heavy as well.
It just seems...
Yeah, it makes sense. We're mammals. Choose mammals, you know.
Right.
All right, what's your next one?
Switching gears again all the way from the desert to the rainforest.
Okay.
So here's where I have two.
Okay.
Because I seriously couldn't choose, because both seem so fun. One I am, and one I would want to be.
Okay.
So the one I want to be is the margay.
Okay.
Which is one of the smaller cats.
Yes.
So they look a lot like tiny ocelots.
Mm-hmm.
They're native to North, Central, and South America. And very little is known about them, even though they're so awesome because they're hard to find and study. But the reason I chose this cat rather than any of the other ones is because they're mainly arboreal, which I think would be way safer when you're a little cat in the jungle, is if you're in
Makes
the trees.
Sense.
So they have the ability, just like a squirrel, to rotate their hind feet so they can hang from them and climb face down. They're carnivores that occasionally eat fruit, which is cool.
Interesting, yeah.
And small...
I wonder why. Is it just availability, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Small cats are typically more successful hunters than big cats. So at first I was like, I want to be a jaguar. And then I'm like, no. Then you got to worry about space.
They're better.
And, they're like... And The only downsides are that margays are endangered, and they live alone, except during breeding season. But other than that, I think it'd be pretty sweet to be a little cute margay.
Yeah, they're a pretty good one.
Do you want to do yours and then me do my second, or just go to the second?
Go ahead and just...
Okay.
Well, no, because then we'll mess up the count. Wait, how many do you have? 8 or 9?
9.
9. Okay, yeah, go ahead and do your second one, because I have 8. Yes, go ahead and do your second one.
So, my second one that I actually am is the white-faced capuchin. Or capuchin, however some people say it different ways. Native to Central and South America. It's got one of the widest ranges of all New World monkeys, which means monkeys from the New World, North and Central and South America, since we don't have any up in North. So, why do I want to be one? Or why do I think I am one? They live about 50 years, so that'd be sweet to live that long as an animal. They have a breeding season, but sex happens outside of this as well. So, again, no limits. Very social animals. Females stay with the same group forever. Males leave after a few years to find a new group, so it kind of sucks if you had, like, a son that you loved.
Yeah. But, they don't know the difference.
Right. But they spend a lot of time bonding and doing all sorts of bonding rituals. They'll mob predators as a group, which is cool.
Yeah.
They're playful and inquisitive even as adults, energetic and active and talkative. They're opportunistic omnivores, which is my kind of diet. And the only things that I could find that were downsides is that
it's a monkey.
Things eat them.
It's a monkey.
Quite a few things eat them, and that moms do all of the care of the babies, but thankfully you just have one at a time.
Okay. Yeah, moms kind of get the shaft on that one.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird, because a lot of other primates will kind of share duties. Yeah. Not them. But I think they seem like they have an awesome life. Hanging out, making mischief in the trees, talking all the time, chilling with their friends.
I can see that one. All right, you ready for my rainforest?
Yeah.
It's the kookaburra, another Australian animal. All right, now hear me out on this one. So coming in 11 to 17 inches.
It's a big, it's bigger than I thought. I took care of one once, and it was bigger.
Yeah, they're bigger than you think, but I mean, still relatively small.
Yeah.
This one is the one that I think this is my spirit animal. And I will get into it why in a second. So I guess I, kind of gravitate towards fellow short kin. So I mean, considering birds, pretty short. They weigh about 11 ounces. Remember, they're birds, so of course they're going to be freakishly light. Interestingly enough, these birds are carnivorous, which I do think is cool. As much as
Yes, it is cool. Because they're not really a bird of prey, but they are a carnivorous bird.
Yeah, which is really fascinating to me. And as much as I wish I liked meat more, it just doesn't agree with my stomach. But I like the idea of being able to eat more meat. But I think it is really neat.
When I took care of one, we would feed it mice. And they were already dead, but it made sure.
Yes.
And it would smack it really fast.
Which I'm not that aggressive with my meat. Like, just grab a steak, make sure that hunk of meat is dead. But why the kookaburra? 1, they are freaking loud at the butt crack of dawn, ready to go for the day, and I seriously can't relate to any other animal more. Ask any of my poor coworkers, none of which are morning people, and here comes Katy, loud, full of jokes, first thing in the morning, ready for a conversation, and I don't even realize how loud I am in the morning. It's like my senses are ready to go for the day, and I just start at the level of loudness most people don't reach until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like, I swear I do need a kookaburra tattoo somewhere, which...
I'm not a butt crack of dawn loud person, but I'm definitely like by 9 a.m.
I mean, for instance, today is a halt work or observed holiday, and I was already on, like, running by 7 o'clock, and I had already gotten up. I've done podcast stuff. I did some other random stuff that I needed to do. I cleaned up some stuff in the closet, and that was like all by 7, and I was like ready to go. And I don't mean to be loud. I just am, because I'm ready to go that early in the morning. So again, they have absolutely zero concept of how loud they are before the sun even comes up. But gee whiz, they sure do make the neighborhood make sure that they hear and they want to be heard. And just because, again, they're just like chit-chatting in the morning. They're very social animals. They roost at night with many others. Oddly enough, fun fact, a lot of the young kookaburras actually roost in a different spot than the adults, which I thought...
The kids' tree.
Right? It's like the kids' table.
That sounds fun.
The kids' table at Christmas. So...
Yeah, but the kids' tree.
The kookaburra I highly, highly relate to, besides just, like, the obnoxious, like, loud laughing first thing in the morning. Because when I was in Australia, we definitely did go to a few different places, and kookaburras were the first ones that woke us up. One of the first ones. Like, you have, like, the nice little, you know, songbirds, you know, waking you up, and then there's, like, the kookaburra just, like, coming in, and I feel like, I don't know, ask my poor coworkers, I feel like there's no animal that I identify more, because they are social, they do tend to be, like, fine with being the center of attention, because, I mean, they're carnivorous, like, not a whole lot's gonna prey on them.
Right, and loud. Like, they're trying to attract attention by being
yeah,
so loud.
They don't realize how loud they are, and that's the essence of my being. So, kookaburra. That's...
No, that totally makes sense, and and I think I would identify with that as well.
Yeah.
Not first thing in the morning. I'd be like the late kookaburra.
The one that sleeps in every once in a while.
But by late could be like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, I am full, like, once Laura gets up and pulls the Band-Aid off,
done.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need, like, a warm-up time.
As long as you have your 10 a.m.
I just
snack.
need my sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your 10 a.m. snack, and you're good to go.
Alrighty. Cool. Let's see. I'm gonna skip down to the mountains.
Okay.
So alpine would be kind of like the biome.
Yeah.
So this is my only non-mammal.
Okay.
But I want to be a golden eagle.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
So they're native to Eurasia, North Africa, and North America. They live in a variety of habitats, but they usually nest on cliffs or mountains. They are North America's largest bird of prey, weighing up to 13 pounds, females being larger than males.
Which is huge for a bird.
Yeah.
Like, huge for a bird, people.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely bigger than...
They're supposed to be lightweight.
And that's bigger than the eagle, right? Isn't that bigger than a bald eagle?
I think 11 pounds was the bald eagle.
Yeah.
Right. Well, for sure it's bigger than, yeah. So why would I want to be one? There's so many cool reasons. One, they're monogamous and stay together for several years if things, go well. And if they don't migrate, then they stay together year round. So that seems nice. Like, that's, kind of romantic.
That seems nice.
Both males and females work on the nest together. They're very, like, they're a pair, and they do everything together. They hunt together, they nest together.
It's a very much so 50-50 relationship.
Right. Which it's not always common in the animal world.
Seems fair.
Seems really nice. Yes. So both males and females work on the nest, which can be enormous and may be used year after year. Males also help incubate and with parental care. So real quick though, record, like, I know bald eagle nests are big, but listen to the record golden eagle nest is 20 feet tall by 8.5 feet wide.
That's insane.
No, can you imagine seeing that perched on the side of a cliff?
Oh my gosh.
What? A 2-story building.
Yes, this is 2-story.
But only 8.5 feet wide.
That's crazy, though.
Sweet.
Wow.
They live 30 to 40 years, which is a good long time for a bird.
That is, yeah.
And they can fly 80 miles per hour and dive up to 200 miles per hour. So, like, although that's not, they're not typically flying at 80 miles an hour, they're usually cruising.
Yeah.
They can go really freaking fast, which seems really fun. They're carnivores, which I always have, like, mad respect for. They've been known to knock mountain goats off mountains, which is pretty dang smart.
It is, but it's also so mean.
I know.
Like,
I know. But it definitely is, like, an intelligent, why would you...
Why not?
Why not? Go off a mountain and then just take it one instead.
What is the phrase for that now? Yeet?
Yeah.
Just yeet.
Yeet that mountain goat right off the mountain. They can carry 8 pounds in flight, which
is insane.
A lot, yeah. So that's one of those when, we'd constantly get questions. Could that bird kill my dog? This one could for a lot of them. Like they like to hunt in pairs where one tires out the animal and then the other one comes in for the kill. I'm hoping they trade off. Otherwise, I feel like one bird is getting the shaft.
Right? Every time.
They have very few predators, basically none besides humans.
To be fair, yeah.
They're federally protected, so you're just immune. Like you could do anything and nothing's gonna happen to you. The only downside that I could find, literally just one, was that older chicks often kill their younger siblings.
Dang!
So it's like, yeah, just fight to the death as soon as you're born.
I could see that, though. My brother would have killed me when I was little if he had the chance. You're annoying. Let me snap your neck.
Or push you out of a 20-foot nest down a mountain.
Yeah. Goodness.
Golden Eagle. I think it would be wicked.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
All right, go, mountains.
Mountains, go, gorilla. All right, so that's mine, is the gorilla. Gorilla. Another favorite of mine, which has actually become... This one actually did almost become a tattoo of mine. So kookaburra, I need to get a tattoo of it because the more I researched it, I was like...
You're like, I
am a kookaburra. This one almost did become a tattoo many different times, but I'm kind of glad this one didn't come to fruition. Anyway, so found in Central Africa, they can weigh up to 450 pounds and stand anywhere from 4.5 to 5.5, or 4 to 5.5 feet tall. And again, like everything else, they're social animals. They live between 8,000 and 13,000 feet up in the mountains, and they have a thick coat to deal with the cooling, wet atmosphere. They are omnivores, but they're more of my type of omnivores, eating a lot of veggies, and the omnivore part comes from eating insects, which once again,
is like you.
It's my pitch to normalize eating insects because they do pack way more protein and nutrition than normal meat. So why not? This one though, I will say, is more like me. Other than like, they are one of my top favorite animals. They are fiercely protective of their groups, and anybody who knows me knows that you can pick fun of me, whatever. I can pretty much roll it off my back. I mean, I'll probably stew on it and get you back later, but just don't mess with my team or those that are closest to me. Whether it's work or my work team, the ones that I like, or anyone else that I have.
You're loyal.
Yeah, I'm a fiercely loyal person. You can screw up that loyalty and lose the trust. Once you gain the trust, it's very, very hard to lose it. Same thing with gorillas, but once you've lost it, just like gorillas, you're gone. Cut that rope, you're out of here. And that is very painfully like me. So besides this though, why else gorillas? I could rock eating veggies all day. I really do like just hanging out in the rain, especially if I already have a coat, not a raincoat, but they essentially have a very warm raincoat. And it is pretty soothing to just hang out in the rain and just listen to it fall.
Yeah, plus, being a gorilla wouldn't be that much different than...
No, not really.
Being a person.
And besides my asthma, which I know would not do well in the high altitude, I feel
unless it made it... Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you'd breathe even easier because the air would be...
Maybe, or worse. I feel like it would be way worse. But that was definitely my mountain, could you be that, was a gorilla. Because I genuinely know I could be a gorilla. Yeah, not quite as much as I know I could be a kookaburra, because that is definitely my new spirit animal. But I
have such a hard time choosing. I really don't know what sums me up the most. I feel like it's got to be somebody else's decision because I can't find one.
Which one do you want to do for you next?
Okay, freshwater. Specifically, because I am not...
Oh, okay. I have an ocean one, so we'll balance out here.
Yeah, because
I know you don't like the ocean. Yeah. You what did you say?
Sure. I don't really like being wet unless I want to be. Come on. No. Okay. I don't like getting rained on. I don't like getting splashed.
Thanks for the clarification.
It needs to be on my terms, and the ocean, salty, scary, and vast.
Well, wasn't that you? Yeah, wasn't that you that said that, like, it's because you know what's out there and you don't, like, once you get as deep as you can in the ocean, like, there's stuff that you just can't see. Like, even if you're just swimming.
And I'm not, like, I have other friends that are, like, they won't go in water they can't see in. That's not a problem for me. I'll swim in a lake, no problem.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. The ocean, it's really, I have no desire.
Just fresh water. So fresh water. Okay, I'll do the ocean one next then.
Okay, and even as far as fresh water, this is pushing it because it's not like I want to be a fish. I want to be an otter. So
that might be okay. Go ahead and tell me your reasoning. That I feel like is very close to your spirit animal.
I think so too. It's one of the closest for sure.
Yeah.
So this is another weasel family member because they are one of the coolest families. But this one is the social one. So other weasels are not social.
Like the river otter, as in where?
I chose. So that was the thing. I didn't choose a specific otter species. I only cut sea otters.
Gosh. Man, they're so cute, and you just cut them.
I cut them out.
What do you have against sea otter? Is it just because of you don't want to be in the sea that bad? You just don't want to be a sea otter?
Probably. Okay. Well, plus I think it might get annoying constantly. People just being like, "Oh,
you're so cute." Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this Jeff Corwin episode from a long time ago where he talks to this lady down in South America about about river otters.
The giant river otters down there are no freaking joke.
Yes. So she's a lady that does conservation in there, and I have to post what episode it is. But she calls them like, and they come when they're called because she hand raised them, but then she released them. But it's like, come my babies. Come, and then she starts, and then she starts listing their names like come Madaya, come, and she just goes through a list. I could also see you being that river lady.
That lady, yeah, totally. No, that sounds so fun. There's an amazing video that is dubbed over by Snoop Dogg.
Oh yes, yes.
Versus a caiman. Yeah.
Yes,
look up that, listeners, because that's worth watching. So this otter species can be found on every continent but Antarctica and Australia. Mm-hmm. And I said,
wait, they're not in Australia?
Isn't that interesting?
Did not know.
I never thought about it.
No.
So why do I want to be an otter? They're perfectly adapted for the water while also enjoying the land.
Fair enough.
That's my kind of okay. Like, if I was perfectly adapted for the water, I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I don't have to be in there all the time.
So, yeah.
So they can close their ears and nose underwater, which would be particularly useful for me because I have to hold my nose underwater.
You still have to hold your nose underwater?
Yeah. I mean, I think for very short, bursts, I could go under.
You maybe could.
As long as I'm moving forward. But I never took swim lessons, and I never figured out how to blow air through my nose.
Hold on. Pause. You're making fun of the beluga whale swimming backwards.
I didn't make fun. I was questioning. I didn't know that other whales couldn't go back.
Can you swim? You can swim backwards, but let's say you're underwater and you start to swim backwards. That's whenever you have to plug your nose.
I normally hold it all the time just in case. When I
go
submerge underwater, I'm holding my nose.
Wow. You're missing a whole,
it's very limiting.
A whole appendage that you're missing. Out on, man. All right, continue.
So if I were an otter, I wouldn't have that.
Yeah, I'll
say. They can see underwater as well as they can see above the water. They can stay under for 5 to 8 minutes. So they have special waterproof coat that keeps them warm and dry that seems so soft and wonderful. And then what really talks to me is that they're energetic and playful, intelligent and curious, very talkative. They're constantly squeaking and talking to one another. And they're very social. So they typically live in groups with a mom and 2 generations of her kids. Males might form a group together.
Okay.
And sometimes dads help out with the young for a while. They live in cozy dens, most of which they don't make. They'll just use an old beaver lodge. And they actually have been known to share it with beavers, which I think is so cute.
That is kind of funny.
Just everybody all in.
Come on in! Yeah.
And they're carnivores that enjoy food from the river, which I do like fish.
Yeah.
I love to eat fish and things like that. So I think otters have a great life. The only downside is that some of the species are endangered. But other than that,
I would say that might be, and I've never thought about that one for your spirit animal, but this one might be very close to being your spirit animal. I think I've got a lot of
personality traits of an otter.
You do, yeah. That would be very close. It's my husband's
favorite animal, so that would make a lot of sense.
Okay.
Not that he's a... Okay, I'm not...
Just stop.
What he values in otters, being smart, intelligent, talkative, and cute.
Yeah.
I think I'm those things.
You're like, that's just me. I don't know what to say. That's just me.
So that's my freshwater animal.
Very nice. Well, I'll take it over and then go to the ocean.
Okay.
So this is another one that I want to be that, not that I am that. And this one's an octopus. So
gotcha.
There are 300 different species found all over the world's oceans. This invertebrate is a strict carnivore because it lives in the ocean, and most large ocean predators are carnivorous because you need to get that energy. If you've watched Finding Dory at all, you'd know that octopuses have 3 hearts. 2 of the hearts work exclusively to move blood beyond the animal's gills, while the 3rd keeps circulation going for organs. They have super weird mating rituals, which is not why I would like to be this animal.
I was like, whoa.
Not why. Although it is really fun and still one of my favorite mating fun facts, which we have definitely talked about that.
Yes.
Okay. Let's reiterate it. So
the handoff.
Yeah, it's a handoff. So the male takes children, close your ears. The male takes one of his tentacles, and it's one particular tentacle, isn't it? Am I remembering that? I'm pretty sure he has one particular tentacle that he uses for this. Reaches up, grabs, which is technically, I think, a spermatophore, right?
Probably.
And then
it's definitely a packet,
packet of sperm. Pulls it out, goes over into the female, and just bloop, pops it right up on in there.
And she can use it whenever
the heck she wants. So convenient in the animal world. Children can unblock your ears now. So, but why an octopus if not for their weird mating rituals? Because they literally are one of the ocean's badasses for how small they are.
If I liked the ocean, I would want to be an octopus.
Yes.
For sure.
And
very little things eat them. They're hella smart.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Again, though, this is another one of my tattoos. I think I talked about this. This is why I haven't gotten any tattoos, because once I start, I will never be able to stop. Animals and just plants, just covered head to toe. So I just haven't started because I'm too afraid to start, and then it won't stop.
Someone will find you mummified one day and think that you were some kind of druid.
Yeah, right? Just some sort of nature goddess. I'll take it.
Right.
Why not?
That'd be cool.
I mean, I'll take it. Even if it's way after I'm dead. I'll take it. So they are, besides what Laura said, they're also quick in the water, up to 25 miles per hour. Again, major predator, just going around chowing down on crabs and stuff all day. 8 arms, and I could... Who knows what else I could do with...
How much more productive?
Yeah, right, with 8 arms. I was to say what else? Never mind. What else I could do with 8 arms outside of the mating ritual stuff? Again, just overall badass in general. So
they might even have they found octopus cities.
Yeah.
So they might have culture. We
don't know a whole lot about them.
Cool stuff about octopi.
And I feel like there's definitely more than what we know about them, for sure.
There's probably I'm imagining a Roman culture.
Me too. With
a senate and everything. They make decisions.
With a senate. All up on steps. You know how
an old
yes,
Roman
right?
thing?
Where they're all just sitting there making decisions.
They're all making decisions about the ocean.
I mean, they're incredibly smart, so I'll give it to them.
Yeah.
I'll give it to them. All right.
That would be an awesome animal.
That would be an awesome one. And the tattoo I want would be right on my hip, going down my leg, you know? Yeah.
Around.
That would be
cool.
Freaking sweet. Continue. What's your next one?
All right. Okay, my next one is temperate
Perfect.
forests.
I have a good one for that one.
And I have two here too because it's just too hard. So again, well, actually, I don't know. Both of these are pretty. These are both I want to be and maybe personality wise. Okay. So the one that more is a wish than maybe am is the gray wolf.
Okay.
So native to the U.S., Canada, Mexico, and Eurasia. One of the most wide-ranging land animals in the world. It's the largest species of canid. And why do I want to be one or think I could be? They're very social. So when you think of social animals, a lot of times you think of wolves. Packs have anywhere from 2 to 36 members, but most of them are only 5 to 9. So again, a manageable number of friends and family. The status...
I like that that's your sweet spot. Like, you have a sweet spot of manageable friends and family.
Well, I mean, I have tons of acquaintances, and I have tons of, like, but it's...
Yeah. No, I get it.
Want to hang out with all the time.
I get it, yeah. Who could you put up with for that length of time?
All, for everything. So, the only, about their social structure is the whole status thing. So it depends on interaction with the rest of the pack and who your mom is or was, which I think is cool. The entire pack takes care of the babies. Alphas are monogamous until death, which is cool. They have both a nomadic period and a stationary period every year, which I think would be fun to travel.
Yeah.
But also, have your home base.
Yeah. They're
also very talkative. Carnivores with almost no predators. Only downsides is the hierarchy. Only alphas breed, usually, unless things are really good. And they're persecuted by humans a lot.
They are, yeah. A lot.
But otherwise, it'd be
pretty good
to live in a tight-knit community.
That would be a good one.
And then
all right. Yeah, I was going to say, do you want to just go through your second one, too?
My other forest animal is the eastern gray squirrel.
Oh, which is the perfect leeway into which one I chose.
Oh, good. And I think I'm probably more squirrel-like than wolf-like. As much as I wish I were more wolf-like.
As much as I wish.
So eastern gray squirrels are native to the eastern United States, west of the Mississippi, up a little bit into Canada. They're a medium-sized squirrel, not too big, not too little, respectable-sized squirrel.
As far as squirrels go, it's respectable.
Yeah, it's a respectable size. Why do I want to be a squirrel? There's a lot of reasons. They rest during the heat of the day, which is absolutely what I want to do.
They sploot.
They sploot, which we just found out. Yeah. There's so yeah, they sploot during the middle of the day. As the song Afternoon Delight just comes on.
I still can't get over it. Continue. Don't mind me dying over here.
They're typically herbivorous, which isn't necessarily me, but they also do occasionally eat eggs, insects, bones, nestling frogs, and even each other.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know squirrels ate each other.
Either. But
man,
are pretty brutal like that.
True.
We've talked about the guinea pig thing before.
Yeah. Yeah.
They cache food for winter, and I am a food cacher.
I was gonna say, I feel like that is you.
No, totally. When I was younger,
it's like you and candy before Passover and Lent comes. Yeah.
Well, and what happens is, I'm a person. My entire life mentality is save the best for last, for the most part. So, if I get lots of candy at a holiday, I will keep it and then eat it. I had a jar in my room as a high schooler that had candy from, the previous Halloween.
Oh, that's...
That I was slowly going through.
Too old.
So, I was sugar never goes bad. It'll be fine. So, yeah, I'm a casher.
A food casher.
They have excellent memories, which is not necessarily me, but... it could improve on. Although I am very good at memorizing certain things.
Yeah.
But they have spatial memory, which is not me. They share nests with others most of the year. They're little foresters that plant seeds, even if they don't mean to.
Yeah, right? They don't even know. They're just going about their instincts.
They're talkative. Has anyone ever been scolded by a squirrel can tell you. They speak their minds.
I have been. Many a squirrel have scolded me. Not while splooting, but...
I was just about to say that. When they're splooting, they're too chill. They don't care.
Yeah.
They're smart. And again, intelligence is relevant. And a lot of people say, squirrels are only as smart as they need to be. But I would say squirrels are smart.
Squirrels are pretty smart.
Anyone who's ever tried to squirrel-proof anything knows that.
They get around it, yeah.
You can't squirrel-proof things. They quickly learn from their peers. Mm-hmm. And a definite sign of intelligence is that they are known to engage in deceptive and paranoid behavior.
Paranoid behavior, interesting.
Yes. The example of this is if they think that another squirrel or animal is watching where they put that nut, they will pretend to bury it there.
That is
wait till
so
things not looking,
funny.
and then bury it somewhere else.
I got you. Yeah. Like, made you look.
They don't want them to know where their stash is.
That's funny.
FYI, I couldn't believe I found this, and I really want to join, but their new studies and facts are shared every year at the Colloquium on Arboreal Squirrels, which is an international conference.
What?
Of squirrels?
Squirrel. Wow.
Colloquium on Arboreal Squirrels.
Man, that
is in Europe.
That has to be
niche. Very niche.
Not only
and
the people.
I just want to go to hear.
Yeah, the people.
Who are the squirrel scientists?
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. Like, there's always stereotypes of like the reptile people, the bird people, but the squirrel people,
are just all the ADHD scientists.
Yeah, right. Just all of them. Every single last one.
There are arboreal acrobats, which I lived my childhood in the trees, and I wouldn't consider myself an acrobat, but I can climb a tree.
Pregnant Laura, the acrobat.
But they, squirrels almost always land on their feet. There's some amazing videos showing how they lock on to position with their eyes and can turn and rotate their bodies, use their tail, all that. They have awesome tail for balance, and their hind feet can rotate backwards, like I mentioned with the margay. Downsides of being a squirrel. Lots of predators. Seen as a pest by most people, unfortunately. Females are typically submissive to males, which is garbage.
You're just like, that's the one bullshit of squirrels.
No, the other one that's definitely like a downside is they only have 8 hours of estrus per year. Okay,
what?
So yes, 8 hours. Sex only lasts 30 seconds. And the vagina is actually closed at all times except during that 8 hours twice a year.
Man, talk about window of opportunity.
Right? You've got 8 hours twice a year, and that is it. Like, you couldn't even do it for any other reason because it's closed.
Just... I really want to make a good sound effect there, but it's just like... just stop. In all seriousness, though, I wonder, though, if it's like, oh, this is going to be gross, but there's no way around it, but I wonder if it's muscular that makes it closed, or is it secretion that makes it closed?
I think it's muscular.
Okay. So is that
so that just
involuntary? I'll have to do research.
I think so.
Man.
I think it's just they can't help it.
Interesting.
I also found out that the testes on a squirrel, it's something like 7 times bigger during breeding season. It's something crazy.
This goes back to the what was the marsupial? The honey the honey shrew?
Honey possum.
Yeah, honey possum that it just drags along along the woods there. Man, I didn't know that.
I would be a squirrel. I just wouldn't like the never getting to have sex part and the everybody wants to kill me.
Yeah, right?
Because I'm either annoying or prey.
Yeah.
And the females are submissive to males. No.
Yeah. I call bullshit just every time. Stupid squirrels. Alrighty, well, I'm so glad that you did a squirrel because my temperate forest is an eastern chipmunk.
Yay! We can you be the ground squirrel and I'll be the tree squirrel.
So, eastern chipmunks are found, obviously, eastern United States, and can get as large as 12 inches. But I've never seen a chipmunk that's that big.
Chipmunk.
Right? And
maybe out west.
Maybe. Oh, no, this is the eastern chipmunk that I found this back. What? Yeah, 12 inches.
I saw an eastern chipmunk the size of a foot, like a foot long.
I have never. And
I would poop my pants.
Several sources that I found said 12 inches long. Never seen a chipmunk that long.
6 inches, maybe.
Yeah, they're tiny because they're small. They are most notable by their reddish-brown fur and white bellies. They have 5, like dark brown or black stripes down their back, and a darkish colored tail. They eat a variety of food like mushrooms, plants, bulbs, seeds, nuts, and the like. And maybe for me, I think that this one might be more of a nostalgia thing, because anytime growing up in Western Pennsylvania, you go camping, there are chipmunks galore around. And we used to, again, me with feeding animals. I grew up to tell people stop feeding animals, but
I know, but I did too.
I totally did it. We would always feed the chipmunks around us French toast. And they loved it. Like leftover French toast.
Well, at least French toast is pretty healthy.
Right? I mean,
egg.
Come on. So they loved French toast. Also nostalgia, because fun fact, I'm from Pittsburgh, and in Western PA, there are a lot of people who call chipmunks by a different name. And it's Grinny. We call them Grinnies.
It's very fitting.
It's fitting because whenever they have like all that food in their little cheek pouches, it looks like they're smiling. So it's a little Grinny.
So cute.
Right? So going off of that, they typically are fairly outgoing, obviously. They do appear to always be smiling, which I'm known for. Whether their outgoingness is a good thing or bad thing since they want to approach people, I don't know. All right. So anyway, it could just be that I identify with an Eastern chipmunk. Again, tiny, social.
I can totally see
as a chit chat. I mean, Western PA forest.
Because also, yeah, right. They do talk, and they're known to be very protective, like of their stash. Yeah. Because unlike squirrels,
everywhere,
stash everywhere. Chipmunks have like one spot, and they're
this
like
is mine.
Defend it.
Do not touch it. Yeah. So it could be all of that, or it could just be like eating French toast from grandma's all day. I mean, sign me up. I could do that. Yeah. Shout out again to Ruth, my grandma, who always made amazing French toast still to this day, so that we could feed the chipmunks. Also, chipmunks, the origin of the word chipmunk translate to one who descends down trees headlong, which is head first, which I typically don't climb down trees head first. Maybe I should try. I don't know. I mean, I've done that rock climbing where you turn around and you run down like foot forward. And that's always really fun. So maybe I should try climbing down a tree head first one time. Like, grip. So yeah, Eastern chipmunk from my temperate forest.
This is the grassland. I really want to be a wild horse.
I could, yeah.
But and I think that I would be. I think I could be because it's very social, things like that. But like, let's be real. The only truly wild horse is Przalski's.
Yeah, horse. Yeah.
I chose the wild Mustang, but
fair enough.
They're kind of like so that's kind of my shout out. What I actually think that I am, and is probably the cooler grassland animal, although horses are the most beautiful, a hyena.
Ooh, okay.
The more I learn about hyenas, the more I'm like, they are one of the coolest animals out there, and it would be awesome to be one. So, I'm specifically focused on the spotted hyena, because there are several different ones. Yeah. The spotted one's the one you typically think of. Native to sub-Saharan Africa, live in a wide variety of habitats. I chose the grassland. Why do I want to be one or think I am one? They have the strongest jaws relative to size of any mammal, so they got some seriously strong chompers.
Okay.
I probably have a strong jaw from all the talking I do.
I think it comes with the career. Between the smiling and the talking, we're just like could bite an apple in half, like through the core. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of
because otherwise that's not that impressive. I was trying to say bite somebody's finger off, but that's really awful.
I was trying to go with something that I know that you could theoretically bite, but man, you just took it to a whole other level there. Just bite off someone's finger.
They are another social species. You'll see a theme here. I don't want to be an animal that lives alone. They're social.
Her true inner feelings coming out. I don't want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone. And their social groups are called clans, which I didn't know.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Yeah. Anywhere from 3 to 80 members.
Okay.
But those are not together all the time. So this is kind of a cool, like, social. So what happens is, yes, they're together for a few things. So they are only together when hunting, defending territory, or communally denning. Because they usually all sleep in one spot.
Or
otherwise, they break off into smaller groups.
Okay.
And it's usually a group of chicks. Like, and they're usually relatives. So female relatives break off. So, like, you and your sisters and
which
your mom.
Makes sense, because that's, like, the gossip time.
Right. You break off into small groups, and usually that helps you be more successful when you are hunting. If it's not something big, they'll only hunt together if it's something big.
Okay. That makes sense.
It's just small groups. And while they do that, they're working on, like, their status and, like, develop plotting.
Gossiping. They're gossiping.
Yeah. They literally are working on their status the entire time because, like wolves, they have a very, like, strong social structure. So it's a female dominant society, as it should be. The males literally do a bowing display if they want to mate. Like, they bow down and then
as it should be. Yeah. Bow down before me.
Yeah, like, that's a bit much, but okay. They're a matrilinear society, so that means they follow the mother's line. So your mom matters to your status.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that for chimpanzees too, right? Chimpanzees, your mom's status matters.
Yes, yeah, it does matter. Yeah, whether it's the whole thing or not is depending on the truth. Right. But yeah, it does matter. It does matter. So your mom advocates for you basically the day you're born. And you are trying to maneuver your way to the top, to be the top female. And, like, your relatives will help you out when you're in those small groups. You're plotting to overthrow other groups. Man.
Well, not to anthropomorphize too much, but it is happening.
But it is, yeah.
Males leave after a few years to find a new group. They have their own dominance ranking. So females are always first, then males, and in their own pecking order. And guys will spend days or weeks sucking up to a female to win her favor and get status.
As it should be.
I just imagine these poor pathetic males just
please like me.
Emasculated.
Yeah.
So males are emasculated. Females are extremely masculated.
Yes, I did know this.
Meaning that they have an enlarged clitoris that can get an erection.
And it's large.
So, right, the term, like, lady boner.
Yeah. It fits the hyena.
So this seems like it would be really awesome to a point. Because, like, you'd think if it's bigger, you'd be able to feel more. But hold on, we'll talk about that more in a little bit.
I'm dead.
They also have what looks like a scrotum, but is actually more hairy than a scrotum. Which I'm like, I love it. I love all of it. It's so
go
funny.
big or go home. Go big or go home.
And they have the highest parental investment of any carnivore, which I thought was fascinating.
That is interesting.
I don't know if that's good or bad. What it means is that the babies aren't weaned for 12 to 16 months, which is a long time for a baby to still be drinking
milk. That is really long, yeah.
They're very protective mothers. And they team up with their daughters to get them a status place immediately below them. They don't make them higher, but
below them. That makes sense though. Because you would think that, you want them to be fiercely loyal. Yeah, you want the best for your kids, and so you want your lineage to go on, and what better way than that?
Yeah. Hyenas are very talkative. They make lots of different sounds. Of course, we all know the hyena laugh. Mm-hmm. Although that isn't a good sound. That's a bad sound. Usually means they're really scared or they're, like, about to do something because they feel threatened. They have major endurance. They're made to tire out animals. They'll just go and go and go and go and go until the animal drops. They're one of the top predators in Africa, with their mortal enemies being lions. So really that's the only thing they're worried about is lions. They kill lions kill them. They hate each other. Lion King.
Yeah, right? Case in point.
Right. I already knew that from Lion King. Okay, so here's the downsides of a hyena, because otherwise I'm like, this is the perfect life. Besides it being hot.
Yeah, right.
In a grassland, which I would hate. But the downside is that babies start to fight right away, so they usually have 2 babies.
Okay.
They begin fighting as soon as they're born, and usually one ends up killing the other.
Dang.
It's brutal.
Yeah, that is a little cutthroat.
Only one sibling survives. Infanticide can occur, so like other pack mates might kill babies. But the cringiest, so you know how I was like, man, it'd be so cool to like be a emasculated female, except that they have to urinate, mate, and deliver young all through their enlarged pseudopenis.
Yeah, that would not be as quite.
So they don't have a normal like vagina.
Yeah.
This means
I have so many more questions.
Clitoris actually ruptures during birth and has to heal. So I'm taking back what I said earlier about having an enlarged one would be incredible. Because that sounds like the most painful thing in the whole world.
Just explodes.
A ruptured clitoris that then has to heal.
No thanks.
No thank you.
We back out. We digress.
Other than that, hyena all the way.
That's funny. I didn't know most about that. I mean, I knew some about the hyena, but not as much.
All right, what's the last two biomes? I have to give up on the horse. I have to let it go.
That's okay. I have I have grasslands, and then I have one from scrublands, which is kind of similar. Okay, they're normally found.
I guess I could have put the horse in the scrubland. Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. Just keep
going. All right, badger again. This is another one.
Oh yeah, badgers are awesome.
This is another one that I wish I could be that badass animal because honey badger don't care. And did you know that video? Please tell me you know what that video is. The honey badger don't care one.
Of course I do.
Released 10 years ago in 2000.
Tumble into dust.
Right? We're ancient now. 10 years ago. If you don't know what that video that we're talking about,
I can't believe it was that long ago.
Just Google honey badger don't care. All right. But according to Guinness and the video, badgers are often seen as the most fearless animals out there. Honestly,
besides maybe wolverines.
But I think the reason why they're differentiated than wolverines is because wolverines are much more strategic about what they do. They're much more thoughtful, whereas badgers just aren't. Like, they just, like, which is just, like, impulsivity.
And do you have a preference for your badger? Because
not
badgers
really.
Are very different.
They are very different.
English badgers are, like, very proper and cute looking and America's badgers look like meth addicts, and like the honey badger
don't care.
Insane.
Honey badger don't care. And so I was more so leaning towards the African honey badger, and then the American one is which ones I was talking about. But yeah, because it is so instantaneous and impulsivity, they just see prey, bam, got it. They're technically omnivores, although they are pretty ruthless when it comes to being carnivores. They're 20 to 34 inches from head to tail. The tail adds an additional 4 to 6 inches to its length. Badgers weigh between 9 and 39 pounds, which is pretty big. I mean, again, it's badgers all over the world. They are found throughout the grasslands in the U.S. and Canada, and the honey badger, like I said, is from Africa. There are also tons of badgers within Asia, and basically a lot of other grasslands around the world. Got a grassland, chances are you're going to find a badger of some sort. Again, kind of like some of the other animals we've talked about, fun badger fact, they mate whenever the heck they feel like it, because again, honey badger don't care.
They don't care.
They only have 1 litter per year. Due to delayed implantation, badgers give birth mid to late winter between January and March. So this one, like, they don't care, but because it's delayed implantation, again, they kind of like hold.
It's a little more
they hold on to it. So they mate whenever the heck they want, and then they kind of like hang on to it for a little bit.
Like young octopus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So why honey badger? Again, they legitimately don't care, and I am such a logical thinker sometimes. Even like if it doesn't seem like I'm thinking about something, like I have been thinking about it, and I've already run through 200 different scenarios by the time it comes up in conversations. And sometimes I feel like I would rather make a decision like I don't care and genuinely not care, because even when I attempt to not care, it's impossible not to.
I know.
So this isn't.
I wished so much during the pandemic I didn't care so much.
So this animal I don't want as a tattoo, but they are pretty badass.
Yeah.
And then the second one I had for scrublands and was a rock wallaby. So again, another Australian animal.
That sounds fun.
And I did get to meet rock wallabies whenever I was in Australia. Love them. And again, like the name denotes, they love rocks, climbing all over rocks. I love to climb. I have loved climbing since I was a kid. And rock hopping is a ton of fun. There are 19 total various wallaby species, but rock wallaby as a term is just a general name given to a handful of wallabies that prefer to hang out in rocks. I mean, just like the name says, they can weigh anywhere from 10 to 40 pounds, which is quite a, drastic shift, and get no more to be a few feet in height. They are herbivores as well. So the difference between wallabies and kangaroos, if you're interested, are size, weight, body shape, color, teeth, and they don't live as long. So other than having a pouch with long legs and tails, there honestly isn't much in common between the two.
I think they're way cuter.
They definitely are. So why a rock wallaby? Because honestly, again, climbing rocks, they're pretty quick. They're small. They do live in colonies. Again, I'm an extroverted introvert, and they just love to have fun. I mean, again, I've met some in the wild. Well, it kind of wasn't the wild. Technically, it's the wild, but it's like a place where you can, like, they know people go to, and so they know that there's going to be food there, so they do hang out. But yeah, they're awesome. I have a pretty awesome picture, and I know I keep bringing up these pictures, and I gotta get on my external hard drive and find them. But yeah, rock wallabies are awesome, and that was another one that I could definitely be if I wanted to or needed to be.
Yeah, no, that sounds fun.
Right, bouncy. All right, folks, I think that's everything. That was all you had to? All right.
That's what we would be or could be. Let us know what you would be or could be. Or at least like if you can think of like a top one.
Yes, the top one.
Any animal, what would it be?
And make sure you go onto our social media at FTLON, at Instagram, Twitter. And then if you go to those social media, you'll also be able to find the Discord link. So join us over there. And till then, we'll talk.
You guys can discuss in length what you
Yes, and fight. Fight over it. Argue over it, please.
Who's the better animal?
Right? All right, until next week, we will hopefully talk to you guys on Discord or Patreon. I guess we should do a Patreon plug again. If you guys like the content that we're doing and you want to support us more, help us bring on more guests, like we had with Kate and talking about monarch butterflies. Go ahead and contribute because it helps us to get better equipment, more time, and again, bring on these different interviews that we have for you guys. So, till next week, join us on Discord or social media, and we'll talk to you later.
Catch you later.